Alrighty, welcome back guys. So, patch notes 4.7.0 for the mid-chapter update, which is happening today, have just been released. So, we'll go through them and see what's changing from the PTB to now. So, stay tuned guys. Alright, so as usual, I'm just going to go through the patch notes and let you know what's changed, what's changing. If you have played on the PTB, there might be some changes on there, so let's see what's happened. So first of all, we'll go down a list. For content, we have Tome 7, which is starting May the 5th at 11 AM ET. That is going to be coming out. Now the UI, they've had some settings menus changes, some HUD visual improvements to killer powers. The bottom of these indicators are no longer covered by survivor portraits. The Doctor's Madness levels now have distinct visual for each level. It also helps with the Plague, the Nightmare and Ghostface. So some updates there. Visual updates, now you probably already know, but the coldwind farm maps have all been visually updated. So when the update releases, that will be prominent for all to see. The Doctor has also had a bit of an update, so you're going to see improved performance and look of him on the screen. Okay, so let's have a look at the changes. So the twins first. So with this update, they've tried to widen the window for counterplay when attempting to down multiple survivors with Victor. Also, the ultra rare add-ons were underperforming and had their bonuses increased. So Charlotte can now rotate while waking up. Victor's successful pounce cooldown is 5 seconds. It used to be 3. Victor can now move during the successful pounce cooldown, and a couple of changes to some of the iridescent add-ons for them. The Demogorgon, he was another one that had a bit of an update in regards to the PTB. Traversing the upside down cooldown is 10 seconds, it was 14. The normal traverse is now 20 meters per second rather than 17. The undetectable status lasts 3 seconds. It was 2 seconds before that when you were coming out your portal. And finally, the movement speed whilst charging a shred did increase from 3.68 to 3.86. So it was a bit of a commotion when this was announced for the PTB. People weren't happy about rat liver not being added as base kit, things like that. So the devs have compromised and have changed a few things there. So on the screen, you'll see the list of the add-on changes for the Demogorgon. Next up, we have the Nightmare. So good old Freddy Krueger. His changes, the wearing nerf was movement speed now adjusted to 4 meters per second while charging a dream snare. Dream snare charges reduced to 5, used to be 8, and dream pellets have been reduced to 7, was 10. Now, using the clock to wake up prevents falling asleep for 30 seconds. This includes when getting hit by Freddy, so the survivors will have a bit of immunity to falling asleep in that time frame. They have added a killer power visual behind the survivor portraits to indicate the 30-second sleep immunity timer. Now, some changes to the add-ons. All your slowdown add-ons for Freddy have been changed, so they're on screen now. You can have a look at them, and I have done an update before, so they're pretty much the same from the PTB, except black box. So when a gate is open, the entity blocks it for sleeping survivors for 15 seconds. It did used to be 10 in the PTB, and they've added a few more seconds onto that. Huntress has had some changes done with the add-ons, and they're on screen now for you. The iridescent heads have stayed on there, however you can only have them with one hatchet, which some of you might say, well, that was the same as before, but you used to be able to put another add-on to increase your hatchets. That is no longer available. In regards to the more live designs, they've updated the killers, they've done some changes to the map. They've also implemented the new hook struggle, so struggling during the second stage on hook is now just a series of skill checks. Failing to have an input of 2 successive skill checks is going to instantly complete the sacrifice. Missing a skill check will reduce the amount of time until the entity claims the hook survivor. So that's going to be a lot better than smashing your keyboards and controllers trying to stay alive. Next up, we have some perk changes. So small game, Lucky Break. Lucky Break is going to be one of the metas, I believe. Soul Guard, Open-Handed, Zanshin Tactics, Borrowed Time, Object of Obsession. That is it. They have had the changes done, and like I said, they're all on screen for you to see there. Standouts for me are Lucky Break, definitely. Object of Obsession, that's also going to be quite a bit redesigned from how it was, so interested to see how that fares in the live servers. Other changes have made, so repairing while using the toolbox now increases the odds of getting skill check. When the hatch is open, so they have had a bit of a rework with that. When it's opened by a key, it remains open for 10 seconds only. It did used to be 30 seconds, and then it'll close. Every trial will now start with an obsession regardless of player loadouts. That is a very interesting thing that I've seen on there. Now, the reason for this is since the DS change, or this is my opinion, we have started to see maybe survivors complaining a lot about being tunneled, and as a killer main you do stand out straight away when you notice there's no obsession on the map. So every trial is now going to have an obsession, leaving you not sure if people have DS or not. So that is brand new change here, bit out of the blue, but that is happening when it goes live. Let me just discuss the changes from the PT Beta Live that the devs have highlighted. So the black box, I've already explained that, increased from 10 seconds to 15. Lucky breaks duration reduced from 70, 80 to 90 to 35, 40 and 45. Now, we'll see how that works, but I still think Lucky Break's going to be a really strong perk. Victor can now move during the pounce success cooldown. Demogorgon's base speed while charging shreds increased. Demogorgon's Rat Liver add-on bonus adjusted at plus 3.5% for a resultant shred charge move speed of 4 meters per second. The Huntress has had her Leather Loop add-on rarity reverted to uncommon. They've adjusted the Cowshed and Farmhouse map balance, adjusted multiple collision and farm maps, adjusted the Vault and the Harvester to be easier to use, and they've made some general bug fixes for that map. Now, if you watch me when I streamed live from the PTB, I did think the Cowshed and Farmhouse, just Coldwind general, I did think some of the loops did seem a lot unbalanced, so hopefully they've adjusted them in the right manner. Audio, survivors now screams audibly across the map when unhooking another survivor if you've got make your choice, so that's a good thing to have on there. Game audio is no longer muffled if game ends whilst the trickster is in main event state. Demogorgon's portal no longer audible by survivors until they're activated. The Hillbilly Chainsaw will now rev continuously while in the charge state. They've got a host of bug fixes as well. Couple of things that stand out: they fixed an issue that could prevent the pallets from stunning killers, so that was happening quite predominantly. The other thing I looked out for as well was the breakdown issue. They have fixed it, so breakdown, when you had it on, people were exploiting it. You could prevent the hooks from respawning if you're using that perk, and that was indefinitely, so that's been fixed now. Now, that was pretty much most of it, but again, they're on screen for you, so feel free to read them. And finally, they have some fixes to known issues that are on screen as well. So what do you think, guys? I think I've pretty much covered everything on the PTB to live server changes. Some interesting things there. Definitely the obsession one, that was a bit of a surprise. I can't remember seeing that in the PTB, but interesting they've implemented it, and probably the right thing as well, because I do think when you see that nobody's an obsession, you can abuse that. It's nice to have that on there for you survivor mains, but some interesting changes to some of the other characters. We'll see how they all get on. Looking forward to playing the Coldwind farm. Let me know what you're looking forward to. Anything you're not happy with? Are you a Freddy main? Are you unhappy with the changes they've made? Anything on there stand out for you? Are you a killer main dreading the thought of playing against Lucky Break? I am, that's for sure. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a quick like, drop me a comment, and if you haven't already done so, guys, please consider pressing that subscribe button, click the notification bell, and it'll update you when I release any more Dead by Daylight news or gameplay videos. Alright, thanks guys.